So I want to buy a camper van. So this is the current car I've been driving. It's a Mitsubishi Pajero. In other countries it's called other things like Shogun. This is it. It's a really cool car. It's four-wheel drive, it's diesel. Takes me to a lot of crazy places. The only problem with it, it's a bit hard to sleep in. We've got a baby seat in it. It is our family car, so I'm looking for something I'm looking for a van. Alright, so as I said, I absolutely love this car, and four-wheel drive is the one thing that's really helpful. So a lot of the places I go, it might be sandy tracks or there might be logs and stuff like that, and the ground clearance of a four-wheel drive and having four-wheel drive in general is pretty awesome. The only problem is it's a bit hard to sleep in. As I said, it is a family car, so I can't exactly flatten all the seats out, but also the way the floor is, it's not very comfortable. A van that I really like is a Mitsubishi Delica. Now, I absolutely love those. I used to work for a panel shop many years ago, and my boss had a Delica and I absolutely fell in love with it. I never got one at the time. They were really expensive and vans weren't cool at the time, so I ended up just getting whatever car I got. But now I'm thinking a Delica would be a good choice. The main reason is they're four-wheel drive, or most of my four-wheel drive. I think they're all four-wheel drive actually. Anyway, the ones I've been looking at four-wheel drive, you can get them in diesel or petrol. I'd prefer diesel just because usually you get a bit more efficiency when it comes to fuel, but also they seem to last longer and they're a bit tougher. So I will consider a petrol one if the kilometers or the mileage is low enough, but for now I'm really looking for a diesel one. Please forgive me, I'm still half asleep. We had a really bad storm last night, the power went out, absolute nightmare, so I haven't had much sleep at all. Also haven't had much luck with any of these vans. Most of them have either been scams, pieces of junk. I haven't actually physically gone to look at any yet, but not much luck so far, but I'm just going to keep looking. I've inquired on a few I'm waiting to hear back from, so hopefully I hear back from them, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, I've got some good news. Literally within half an hour of my last clip that I just filmed, a guy got back to me, and this one is really nice. It's a little pricier, but it's the one I've seen with the lowest kilometers or lowest mileage. It's diesel, four-wheel drive. It's not a bad color. It's the kind of like charcoal bottom with like a gray top. It's like two-tone. Looks pretty cool. No modifications. It's completely stock. Yeah, from memory, it's done about 129,000 kilometers, which is not a lot at all for these. So yeah, and it looks like it's in really nice condition. So I'm going to check it out today in a few hours, but I don't know how much about to film. Obviously, I'm not going to bring my big camera, but I might film as much as I can on my phone just to show you guys what it looks like and see if we end up buying it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where half it's... Oh. Alright, so I'm going to overlay some footage while I'm talking about this, but this van was absolute junk. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but I had, it's a bit annoying because it was advertised as having really low kilometers and being in good condition. I suspect that the cluster, so the kilometers, basically the dashboard has been replaced, or they've wound back the kilometers because it had the wear on the interior and exterior of a car of maybe 300,000 or 400,000 kilometers. So yeah, it had rust bubbling on the roof, which that's the first thing I saw, and I was like, that's okay if I need to do some, you know, minor rust repair and paint the roof, that's okay. But it ended up just like things adding up, so the four-wheel drive wasn't working. None of this stuff was listed in the ad, by the way. Yeah, four-wheel drive not working, the seats were filthy, it smelled like cat urine or something inside, the handbrake handle would look like it'd been chewed by a dog or a cat, the steering wheel was dry and cracked, it didn't run very well, the brakes didn't feel good. Felt a little powerless. Yeah, the list goes on. Just way too many things wrong with it for the price. Anyway, that's what happens. I have a couple lined up to see tomorrow. One of them is another Delica. The other is a Hiace, so it's a Toyota Hiace. That one looks okay. It's a little cheap for what it is, so I'm wondering if there's some major things wrong with it, but we'll have a look and go from there. Alright, so this current clip that I'm filming right now has been about a month from the last clip you would have just watched. So I bought a van. I'm in it right now, I'm driving it. So I'm going to show you what it is in a minute. But basically what happened is the Delicas were out of the question in the end. They were a bit too small. I decided I may as well buy a bigger van so I could actually take my family on trips as well. So this van we're talking about now has a seat in the back too. The other thing was, yeah, the Delicas were a bit small. Every single one of them I drove about 3 or 4 of them. My head, like my eye line I should say, was basically where the sun visor is up here. So I had to like duck down while I was driving. Although I could modify the seat or something like that, it's getting a bit too much. So I decided to buy a bigger van. The budget, I exceeded my budget by a lot, unfortunately, but I just thought I'll buy something once and hopefully I'm happy with it and I don't have to upgrade or change it in the future. So this isn't set out as a camper van, it's just a standard passenger van at the moment, but I will be converting it into a camper. So I'm just going to find somewhere to stop and I'll give you a tour of the van. It's pretty awesome, I'm really happy with it. I just got it back from getting service and all that stuff done to it, so I've owned it for about a week but have hardly driven it. But yeah, the adventures will begin very soon. So yeah, just going to find somewhere to pull over. I'll give you a tour of the van, show you exactly what it is, and talk about the future plans for it. I love this thing. So just to get myself situated, I just found some road to stop in just so I can show you this. I love it, it's so cool. All right, here we go. It is a 2000 model Toyota Hiace Super Custom Grand Cabin X. So it's quite a mouthful. I've just been calling it Vanosaurus Rex. Yeah, a little bit bigger than a Delica, quite a lot bigger than a Delica, but at least now I can take my family with me, and just a lot more room. Even if I just go with a friend or something, there's way more room for a bigger bed, and also I can actually sit in it comfortably and see out of it. So I'll give you a bit of a tour. It's got some wheels on it already. It's missing the little center cap on there, so I'm going to try and find one of those. I was going to paint them black, but I think I might just leave them silver. They look all right. I've got a little snorkel coming because they look cool. It's full-time four-wheel drive. I don't know if I mentioned that. So it's not like a full bush basher crazy thing, but it's just got a little bit more ride height, which is good. So it got a bit more ground clearance, I should say. And it's full-time four-wheel drive, so it doesn't have like a gear knob you can change into 4 high or low or anything like that, but it's full-time four-wheel drive, which may help with some of the situations I get into where I'm on slippery grass or mud and things like that, a little more than just a rear-wheel drive. So came with this roof rack on top, which is pretty cool, but I'm actually going to replace that. It's a genuine Toyota rack with Tool or Thule upright bars, but I want to get a full-length roof rack just so I can get solar on top and a few other little things up on top there. So it's a nice rack, but I'm going to get rid of that. It came with, which I love, but I'm going to paint black. Or I'm going to use like tub liner or Raptor liner. I want to paint the ladder, and it comes with a bike rack too, which is really cool. I'm going to paint them black. It'll just look a little bit nicer. What else? So there you go. Grand Cabin, Toyota, Hiace. Yeah, the ladder is awesome. I love it. You come around to the other side here. It's a super long wheelbase. I'm not sure if I said that. So it's the longest model they make of these. And you can usually tell super long wheelbase by this little window here. The normal long wheelbase vans, they stop, they just basically that window part's not included. So let me open the back. Actually, I'll show you the front interior. A lot of stuff to get rid of just because it's a Japanese import. So they come with some crazy things. It's got like an AV selector here because there is a TV in the back, but I'm going to replace that and I'll explain that a bit later. Comes with a Japanese head unit, but I've got another one coming already. There'll be a video on that, and yeah, that's the interior. Pretty nice. Nice big center console, nice glove box here. Really, really comfortable seats. Really nice. Love it. And like I said, it's a 2000 model, so it's got a lot of cool things like this sonar here. It's actually like front and rear parking sensors, and they work really nicely. So give you a quick look at those. There's one of the front sensors. It's also got fog lights. I would love to get some kind of bull bar or nudge bar for this so I can put some spotlights on. And I'm also going to get, when I get the roof rack, I'll put some like a light bar on top of there as well. Let's go into the back here. So mind the floor, it's filthy because I've done some little bit of work in here. This is the back seat I'll be keeping, so I can take the family. So obviously my kid can go in there in his baby seat. I've just got to mess around with this seat a little bit. But there's the TV that folds down, but I'll be removing that. Actually not a TV, it's just a monitor. So I'll be replacing that with some kind of smart TV. It's got rear AC, rear heat and everything. These lights up here, they're really nice, but again, I'll probably be replacing them because I will be obviously converting this into a camper, so I'm going to insulate and sound deaden the roof and possibly reclad all the roof and stuff too. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It had a rear heater here which has been disconnected. I'm going to remove that obviously because it's in the way of the camper build, I should say. It did have 3 rear seats here, which I'll overlay some footage of. They're really nice seats, but obviously they don't fit in with the camper van build, so I've sold those already. So I'll walk to the back. It's got an electric blind, but I'll probably be removing or changing most of these curtains because they're a bit see-through. I'll get some blackouts, but yeah, this is the van from the back. And yeah, lots and lots of plans and lots of work ahead. All right, so this is basically the end of the video. Now, what I'm going to do in the future is obviously fit this into a camper, and I want to put the process or progress on YouTube. So I'm going to film all that. It's going to be, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I'll just film it in little bits, like do some episodes here and there, because the whole build's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money. So I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to get it done. At least for now, if I have to, I can throw a mattress in the back and sleep in here. It's all good. But once it's fully built, it'll have a proper bed, storage, battery power, solar power, all that type of stuff. So got a lot of plans. It's going to take a lot of time. So yeah, I'll probably just do the next video on this van will probably be changing the head unit or something like that. And then videos after that will probably just be kind of bigger progress videos where I build in the bed frame, insulate, sound deaden, all that type of thing. Now I know this channel isn't about car stuff or van stuff, but I figured it'd be really cool to include that because a lot of people love camper van stuff, especially people who are into photography. A lot of them are also into camping, camper vans and things like that. So I figured I'd include that on the channel. But yeah, a lot of plans ahead, a lot of money and a lot of time, but I absolutely love this. It was, like I said, it was way above the budget that I originally had, but I'm glad I went this way. All the Delicas I drove, I wasn't really happy with the power they had, the size of them, and like I said, my eye line was like where the sun visors were, so I had to drive with my head ducked down, and it's just not comfortable at all. So this thing, much bigger. I love it, absolutely love it. So at least now I can travel with the family as well, means we'll get out a lot more. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe if you want to stay tuned to whatever I do to this van, because there will be a lot. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.